Today, two captivating movies named Gulliver's Travels and Antboy will be explained. Let's explain the movie named Gulliver's Travels. A boy named Gulliver appears as the movie starts, and he always kept himself satisfied. He used to serve a company. One day, Gulliver is interviewing a boy. He also asks that boy some informal questions. Then he comes to know that boy has been hired. Then, Gulliver takes that boy for the office visit. There is also a girl named Darcy. And Gulliver also introduces that new employee to Darcy. That employee gets the point after observing both of them that Gulliver likes that girl. But Gulliver does not get courage to talk with that girl. Then the new employee and Gulliver are moving through an elevator. At the same time, Darcy also comes there. Then the hired employee goes, leaving both of them alone, so they may understand each other while talking. In the coming day, Gulliver is shown recreating in the office. Meantime, hired employee reaches there. He tells Gulliver, "Do you know that I have been promoted? I am your head now on." Then that hired employee also says to Gulliver that it is your nature which did not let you to be promoted till now. So you should change your nature. Darcy has no feeling for you till now because of your nature. Hearing it, Gulliver is a bit worried. Afterwards, he moves to the office of Darcy. Going there, he picks up a travel information form. Darcy asks him, "Do you like traveling?" Gulliver says on it, "Yes. A lot of interest." He tells that I have traveled to New York, England and even India. Knowing it, Darcy feels good. Then she says to Gulliver, "You must write down about your visited places." When Gulliver starts writing, then he is confused thinking what he should write. Because Gulliver had told a lie to impress Darcy. In fact, he traveled nowhere. Then he plagiarizes a report from the different articles and texts on internet. Witnessing it, Darcy is impressed while feeling pleasure. Then, Darcy says to him, "You must write something, visiting Bermuda Triangle." The next day, Gulliver travels to Bermuda Triangle, where the captain of boat leads him to the boat, and he instructs him to sail the boat. That you have to sail, tracing the red track. Then you will reach Bermuda Triangle, and press this button oppositely when you wish to return back. Gulliver says on it, "It is not a big deal for me. Behold, I will accomplish it easily." After this, Gulliver travels to Bermuda Triangle, but he falls asleep during voyage. Then his boat is caught in the sea storm. He is left shocked witnessing some facts when he reawakens. Because many people were standing on his body, and they had tied him up with the ropes, and they were the tiny creature who had climbed him up, which are called dwarf. Lilliput had also built a bridge on Gulliver, and those Lilliputians were taking Gulliver as a giant, who will kill them and eat. There was Lilliputians' army. There was also a general of army among them. Then, Gulliver tries to stand up to get freedom, but those Lilliputians start to pull him again. Then, Gulliver falls down again, and a tiny soldier comes under the burden of Gulliver. Then those tiny soldiers are taking him to their king while pulling him. Gulliver says to their king, "Neither I am a giant nor a demon. I am rather an ordinary human being. And tell me which place is this?" Because Gulliver was not believing in his eyes till now. Then those tiny soldiers imprison Gulliver at a place. Gulliver also meets another prisoner named Horatio there. But Horatio was unlike Gulliver, but he was rather tiny like them. Gulliver asks Horatio, "Why are you here?" Horatio replies on it, "I have affections for Princess. So Princess's fiancé General has imprisoned me for this cause." Meanwhile, General approaches there. Gulliver says to General, "You are a stupid person." General asks him, "What is the meaning of stupid?" Gulliver says that the meaning of stupid is the audacious person. Afterwards, General begins to call himself stupid. One day, General sets Gulliver with cart and rides on it. But their region is attacked by another rival kingdom, and the entire palace is set on fire. Moreover, there is also made a try to abduct Princess. Coming there, Gulliver rescues Princess. But the entire palace was set on fire, and the people are frightened. They begin to run to and fro. There is created a fuss. Gulliver tells them, "Listen, there is no tension behind it. I will blow out the fire." Then, Gulliver extinguishes the fire. Meanwhile, General is also wetted. Being furious, General leaves from there. Witnessing it, King pleases from Gulliver, and he invites on a feast. Gulliver says on it, "I will be there for a feast on a condition. That Horatio should be released." Then King agrees with Gulliver. And Horatio is released. Then Gulliver is dining with King and all those people. Then King asks, Gulliver, have you come from River? Gulliver tells on it, no, I have come from New York. Then all begin to think that he is the president of New York. Knowing it, Gulliver starts boasting there. How I rescued the inhabitants of New York along with that city. Now I am mighty and wise president of New York. Then King assures him that we will soon search out your boat. King builds a grand house for Gulliver. So, Gulliver may lead a normal life there. Then it is seen that Gulliver and Horatio were talking how Princess may be impressed. Horatio carries it out what Gulliver tells him with the passage of time. And Gulliver also makes Horatio to act foolishly as he himself continues to do it. In spite of this, Princess impresses from Horatio. At the same night, Gulliver searches out the boat of Gulliver. Because General wanted to release Gulliver from that place, Gulliver is able to get his cell phone in the boat. There is a notification of Darcy's voice message. Gulliver begins to listen to it. Darcy has conveyed a message through voicemail, I am approaching there to meet you. Then it is seen that opponents have again attacked their kingdom. Then, Horatio tells Gulliver, coming there, that our king has selected you as the general of our kingdom. So you have to protect our kingdom now. Then, Gulliver appears to confront the opposition. He tries to explain them, retreat back from here. But the opponents ignore Gulliver, and they begin to attack them, throwing the stones. Gulliver does not get any harm. Then, Gulliver brings their boat at the shore while pulling them. In this way, Gulliver secures their kingdom. Now that General had started to envy Gulliver too much. Then, Gulliver and others are celebrating their victory. Gulliver is tagged a hero there. Moreover, he is providing the great facilities. Princess breaks up with General. Being aggressive, General moves to the king of opponents. General has stolen that magazine from Gulliver's boat, which had the whole process of making a robot. Then General appears before Gulliver, wielding himself as a robot. Witnessing that robot, Gulliver is afraid, and that robot begins to throw him in the air. And Gulliver's reality is exposed before everyone. He tells everyone that his said words and boasting were based on lies. Then General sends Gulliver somewhere after tying him up. Gulliver reaches a place and thinks as he has come into his own world. But he had approached the contrast place right now. First, he had gone to Lilliput, and he had come to Brobdingnag, now who was taller than him. Where a child has taken Gulliver is his toy doll. Then, Gulliver meets Horatio there. Horatio tells him that Darcy has come to meet you in our region. But General has imprisoned her along with the king, and it is you who can help and free them. And Gulliver reaches to King and Darcy at night. In the coming day, a fight is held between that robot and Gulliver. Here Robot has a heavy hand over Gulliver, because he beats Gulliver. But Horatio damages some of the wires of Robot. Getting a chance, Gulliver ends that robot. In this way, they win the game. Afterwards, King consents for the marriage of Horatio and the princess. And Darcy also forgives Gulliver's mistakes. But General captures Princess, coming there. At the same time, Princess hits a blow to him, freeing himself. Consequently, General loses the grip of Princess. Subsequently, Darcy approaches Gulliver, and that's where the movie concludes. Now the movie, Antboy, will be explained. A child named Pell Norman appears as the movie starts. He is about 12 years old. Pell has not a single friend in the school. Pell sits on the balcony of school as the class is over. He is eating an apple, sitting there. At the same time, Pell casts a glance at his friend who was being teased by two boys. Then, Pell throws that apple on those boys. Doing so, he hides himself. But both mischievous boys witness Pell. Then they come after Pell, leaving his friend. Then he moves to a house's garden in order to hide himself. Those mischievous boys leave that place, not glimpsing Pell anywhere. Then, Pell also leaves to his house. It is seen that ant creeps on his body. Reaching to his neck, the ant bites him. After a while, he loses his consciousness. Restoring his sense, he leaves to his house. Pell sees that his friend, named Amanda's father, is live streaming on TV. After this, Pell begins to take breakfast. Here the strange thing starts happening with him. He lifts a milk packet, but it is stuck with his hand as he begins to put it. And it sticks with his another hand when he tries to put it aside with another hand. Then he asks his father to get rid of it. But his glass of juice is also broken as he lifts it. Then, Pell goes to his school. And he strikes with one of his friend, reaching at school. Then he attempts to open the door to enter the class. But the door does not open and the door handle is separated. It is clear here that the objects were sticking with his hands. And Pell's standing friend there was witnessing this. So he starts to suspect Pell that he has some superpowers. Then, Pell is sitting with his other students for sports class. There is also his friend who was keeping an eye on him. Then the teacher calls the name of Pell at first. He takes the trial of Pell in order to teach the new game to the students. Pell is fallen down as teacher practices it on him. Then teacher asks him to stand up. And Pell again falls down. Now, Pell is again geared up for third time. All students are looking at them. Teacher again practices on Pell. At this time, Pell confronts it powerfully. And he every time remains safe from the teacher's hitting. Afterwards, he hits his teacher minutely which makes him fall down at a distance. All are left surprised while seeing him. Seeing it, Pell runs away. Then he is going to his house, where his friend approaches. Pell's friend poses the questions about his powers. But Pell does not much care of his said words. Then Pell's friend hands him over the comic book of superhero. Pell dreams of superhero while reading that comic book. Going to school, he first approaches his friend. He tells his friend that an ant had bitten him. I have changed after this. It means that something strange is happening with me. Hearing it, Pell's friend takes him at his home, where Pell finds the objects relevant to the superheroes. Otherwise, his friend's house was stuffed with trendy things. Pell's friend tries to discover which power Pell possesses. He was discovering it after conducting the little experiments. Sometimes he asks Pell to bite the book, sometimes he tries to make him fly in the air, otherwise, he also makes him put on the dress of superhero so he may look like a superhero completely. And Pell chooses a name, Antboy, for him after thinking a lot about the names. Then it is seen that a thief has run away after grabbing the handbag of a lady. Pell asks the thief to return the handbag back, going to him. The thief ignores him, considering him an ordinary child. So he attempts to scare Pell. And Pell takes his steps back. Then that thief observes that this child is climbing up the wall. Here one power of Pell is revealed before him. And Pell captures that robber. At the same time, police also capture them, arriving there. Then, Pell reveals everything to his friend. He also tells him that I was able to climb up the wall. But he is unable to do it when he tries to attempt it practically. Pell had also known his weakness along with his strengths, as his power will be weakened if he does not take sugar for a long time. Then, Pell begins to assist others, using his powers. At the first sight, he was renowned with the name of Antboy. And the kids begin to mimic Antboy. Being the follower, the kids started putting on the costume like him. Once, a man enters the room of Amanda when he is in her room. Who has worn the weird dress? That man leaves after abducting Amanda. Here his name is revealed. His name is Flea. Next day, it is noticed that a child is hanging on the wall of the school. Seeing him, Antboy moves to rescue him. Reaching there, Antboy knows that it is not a child but only a doll, which had been kept there by Amanda's sister. She wanted to take the help of Antboy to bring Amanda back. Amanda's sister tells Antboy that a man named Flea has abducted my sister. That man is weird by his look and costume. He was flying so he was not an ordinary one. She tells that my father serves in the vaccine research company. That man has asked $20 million ransom. And he has also put it forward that my father should leave the job from there. Then, Antboy consents to release Amanda. But they come to Pell's house before their departure. Pell's friend flies in rage, witnessing Amanda's sister there. And he says to him, what was the need to bring her here? Then, Antboy reaches near a house while sniffing Amanda. Pell is left astonished, seeing that place, because it was the same place where that ant had bitten Pell. Then, Antboy enters the house. He observes the different insect glass boxes while entering there. Many insects had been put in them. Amanda had also imprisoned in such a glass box. Antboy is just thinking to bring Amanda out from there. Then the Flea appears there. And Flea also imprisons Antboy in a glass box. Here, Flea exposes a fact to Antboy. He tells that I was an employee in Amanda's father company, where I used to research the ants. One day, company fired me for no cause. And he was not told why he has been terminating. And my mother passed away because of taking stress during this trouble. He tells, I had thought from that time to take revenge from Amanda's father. Because Amanda's father is the owner of that company. And I have also enhanced my powers after researching on the number of insects. So that I may take avenge. And it was my ant which bit you. On which I had conducted my last experiment. And you possessed such powers because of the biting of that ant. It is our personal fight, so don't interrupt between us. Because it will be better for you. And the people like your superpowers, not you. It means that they like Antboy, not Pell. Because Antboy has superpowers while Pell is an ordinary kid. Hearing it, Pell remembers his previous days. Then he decides that he will lead his life with the identity of Pell, not as Antboy. One day, Pell is in his classroom. Flea grabs Pell's friend, reaching there. Pell again transforms into an Antboy in order to rescue him. Taking no sugar for a long time, Pell had weakened. It means that his superpowers were not working now. Then, Flea comes before Pell, seizing his friend. But Pell's powers are restored, taking a type of liquid. But Flea had disappeared, taking Pell's friend till that time. Then, Antboy reaches a forest, using the eyesight glasses of his friend, where he finds his friend tied with a tree. Then, Antboy releases his friends from those ropes, then the Flea appears there. And fight starts between Antboy and Flea. Meantime, Pell's friend also calls the police. Then they remove a pipe fixed behind him which causes the bleeding. Now, Flea starts weakening, where Antboy hits him more, and he throws him away. But Flea is unable to stand up now. Then police approach there and arrest Flea. He is taken away. After this, Pell decides that he will help humanity, acting like Antboy, and Antboy movie also completes on this scene. Thank you for watching.